For most families in Buffalo, New York, it was supposed to be an ordinary Saturday afternoon. People stopped by the grocery store to pick up food for dinner, chat with neighbors, and prepare for the weekend. But within minutes, that normal day turned into one of the deadliest racial-motivated mass shootings in modern American history. An 18-year-old gunman drove more than 200 miles to a supermarket located in a black neighborhood and opened fire, leaving 10 innocent people dead and several others wounded. The attack horrified the nation, reignited conversations about domestic extremists, and forever changed the Buffalo community. The attack occurred at the Tops Friendly Markets grocery store on Jefferson Avenue in Buffalo's east side. The neighborhood wasn't chosen at random. According to investigators, the gunman specifically selected the location because of its large black population. Authorities later described the attack as an act of racially motivated violent extremists. In the months leading up to the shooting, investigators say the suspect researched demographics and traveled the area and scouted the store before carrying out the attack. Evidence recovered from the shooting indicated extensive planning. At approximately 2:30 p.m., the subject arrived at the supermarket wearing tactical gear and body armor while carrying an AR-style rifle. The first shots rang out in the parking lot. Several people were struck before the gunman entered the store. Inside, panic erupted. Customers abandoned shopping carts and fled towards exits, while employees desperately searched for places to hide. Some survivors later described hearing non-stop gunfire and fearing they would never see their families again. With only a few minutes, 10 people had been killed. 3 others were injured. The suspect live-streamed part of the attack online before the stream was quickly removed by the platform. One of the heroes remembered that day was Aaron Salter Jr., a retired Buffalo police officer working as a security guard. When the shooting began, Salter confronted the attacker and fired his weapon. However, because the gunman was wearing body armor, the rounds failed to stop him. The attacker returned fire, fatally wounding Salter. Many community members later recognized Salter's actions as an extraordinary act of courage under impossible circumstances. The 10 victims represented generations of families connected to Buffalo's east side. They included grandparents, church members, volunteers, caregivers, and people simply shopping for groceries. Every victim left behind family and friends whose lives would never be the same. The tragedy extended far beyond the walls of the supermarket. Authorities quickly identified the suspect as 18-year-old Peyton Gendron. Investigators uncovered writings expressing white supremacist ideology and support for racist conspiracy theories. Federal officials classified the massacre as a hate crime and an act of racially motivated extremism. Evidence suggested the attack had been carefully planned over an extended period rather than being a spontaneous act. The shooter surrendered to police at the scene and was taken into custody without further violence. The criminal proceedings moved relatively quickly. In state court, Gendron pleaded guilty to multiple charges including murder, domestic terrorism motivated by hate, and hate crimes. He was later sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Federal charges were also filed, including hate crime courts and firearm-related offenses. The case continues to be cited as one of the most significant prosecutions involving racially motivated domestic terrorism in recent U.S. history. The Buffalo supermarket shooting was more than another headline. It was a calculated act of hate carried out against innocent people going about their daily lives. 10 lives were stolen. Countless were permanently changed. As communities continue searching for ways to prevent similar tragedies, the names and memories of those victims remain at the center of Buffalo's story. For millions of Americans, Facebook Live was still a relatively new feature, a way to share celebrations, connect with friends, or broadcast everyday moments. But one live stream from Chicago would instead capture the nation's attention for all the wrong reasons. Over the course of nearly 30 minutes, a vulnerable young man was held against his will while his captors mocked him, humiliated him, and streamed portions of the ordeal online for viewers to watch in real time. The video spread rapidly across social media before authorities intervened, sparking outrage and raising difficult questions about hate crimes, mental disability, and the responsibility of online platforms. In early January 2017, an 18-year-old young man from suburban Illinois traveled to Chicago after agreeing to meet someone he knew. The victim, who had developmental disabilities, soon lost contact with his family. As hours turned into days, concerns grew over his whereabouts. What his loved ones didn't know was that he had been taken into an apartment on Chicago's west side, where investigators later said he was prevented from leaving. At some point during the incident, one of the individuals began broadcasting on Facebook Live. A live stream showed the victim being verbally abused and intimidated while several people laughed and interacted with the camera. Comments made during the broadcast attached widespread attention after clips circulated online, and many viewers immediately contacted authorities after recognizing the seriousness of what they were seeing. Although the live stream ended, copies of the footage continued to spread across the internet. The following day, Chicago police officers responded to reports in the area discovered the victim. He was found disoriented but alive. Medical personnel evaluated him, and investigators quickly began interviewing witnesses and collecting evidence. Within a short time, 4 suspects were identified and taken into custody. Their ages ranged from teenagers to young adults. As detectives pieced together the timeline, prosecutors alleged that the victim had been held for an extended period against his will. Investigators reviewed the Facebook Live recording along with other digital evidence recovered during the case. Because the victim had developmental disabilities and statements made during the incident referenced his race, prosecutors examined whether hate crime charges were appropriate along other serious criminal offenses. The case quickly became national news, prompting widespread public discussion and intense media coverage. The 4 defendants faced numerous charges that included aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery, unlawful restraint, intimidation, and hate crime allegations. Over the following years, the legal proceedings moved through the court system. Several defendants ultimately entered guilty pleas to various charges. Sentences differed among those involved based on plea agreements and the specific counts they admitted to. The case highlighted complexity of the prosecuting crimes that are both recorded and broadcasted over social media. The incident shocked viewers across the United States. Many questioned how a crime could be live-streamed before authorities became aware of it. Others focused on the vulnerability of the victim and the broader issue of exploiting individuals with disabilities. Technology companies also faced renewed scrutiny over how quickly violent or abusive content could be detected and removed from online platforms. The case became an early example of the challenges posed by live streaming technology. After being rescued, the victim reunited with his family. Officials and relatives asked the public to respect his privacy as he recovered from the traumatic experience. Although much of the public attention centered on the shocking video itself, family members emphasized that their priority was helping him heal and move forward. His identity and well-being remained central concerns throughout the investigation and prosecution. The Chicago Facebook Live torture case stands as one of the earliest crimes to gain nationwide attention because it was broadcast in real time on social media. It exposed how technology can be misused while also demonstrating the importance of rapid law enforcement response and digital evidence in criminal investigation. Years later, the case remains a reminder that behind every viral headline is a real person whose life has been permanently affected.